What if Galactus transformed Gambit? Issue number 1 from Marvel Comics. Pretty sure that the title is self-explanatory. So we start off this issue with Remy LeBeau, Gambit, and we get, not really a flashback, but we basically go back into the past where he has just been manipulated by the Sinister, and he ends up murdering a bunch of innocent Morlocks by accident. And he's like down in the dumps. This is like the lowest point he's been. And in the regular continuity, this is the point where he later ends up joining like the X-Men and stuff like that. Only instead, he gets summoned by Galactus. And Galactus introduces himself. I am Galactus, Devourer of Worlds. And you're going to basically become my Herald. And so Galactus grants Gambit the power cosmic. And Gambit transforms. And I will say, I'm not the biggest fan of Gambit's Herald of Galactus look. Something about it just doesn't sit right with me. There's something off about it that I don't really care for. It looks maybe a little bit too close to his regular look, only with flames for a coat and hair rather than just a coat and hair. Everything else just looks the same. I kind of would have liked it if they, I don't know, just did something a little bit more unique. Give him like even a completely new outfit or something. Give him something different to like really set him apart from his old Gambit look. But Galactus is like, bid farewell to your world because there's something that needs to be done. And Gambit's like, leave Earth so soon? No, I got unfinished business. So he uses his cards to blast a hole in Galactus' ship and makes his escape. And that's when Galactus is like, unleash the Punishers. And I know the Punishers are like his army, but I was just picturing like, how badass would it have been if he's like released the Punishers and then you just get a bunch of Frank Castles just flying out of the ship going after Remy. Like that would have been kind of cool. Just an army of Frank Castles. But yeah, the Punishers go after Remy. I keep saying Remy. They go after Gambit, and Gambit uses his cards to destroy some of them. How he's able to throw cards in space, I don't know. But then again, he has cosmic power, so we can just chalk it up to the cosmic powers are allowing him to throw stuff in space. So he blows up a bunch of them, but more of them show up. They try to grab him. He blows more of them up. And that's when Galactus shows up and puts like a force field around Gambit and basically traps him. And Galactus is like, hey, like, you failed to grasp why you have been selected. You've been selected for your special skills. I want you to steal a planet for me. And then that's when we cut to the Collector. And the Collector has this private gallery that he's opening up. Basically, every once in a while, he throws a party where a bunch of people from different parts of the universe show up to look at his wares. And he has everything from weapons to animals to other species to planets and stuff like that. Basically, everything in known space, he has it. And Gambit shows up. And the very first thing he does is he hits on this wolf girl. Didn't know Gambit was furry, but yeah. He hits on this wolf girl. Doesn't go well for him because she's already dating some other dude. And the Collector shows up and introduces himself. They shake hands. And the Collector already knows that Gambit is working for Galactus. Like, you know, I make it my business to know what's going on. He doesn't send his heralds here for nothing. So it seems like it'll be a long night. How about we settle this later? How about for now, you just enjoy yourself, enjoy the party, and then whatever it is you've come here for, we can deal with once the party's done. Gambit's like, yeah, that's cool. Like, from what I know, I'm immortal now, so I got all the time in the world. And he sees some pretty girl, so he's like, yeah, maybe I should just, you know, take a private tour somewhere. So he's macking on this chick, and eventually she has to leave. And that's when Gambit starts wandering around this area that he's not authorized to be in. We see like a bunch of like aliens trapped in tubes and stuff like that. And Gambit just blows up the guards, makes his way to the computer where he is looking for the good stuff that the Collector has. And that's when the Collector shows up and it's like, hey, you can destroy my records if you want. You'll never find what you're looking for. And Gambit's like, I've already found where your planet is. That was the easy part. I'm just trying to figure out why it means so much to you. And Gambit has figured out that what the planet is that Galactus wants is a remake of his planet that was destroyed. So everyone who knows the Galactus story, if you don't, Galactus was just a regular dude on this planet. And he was just a regular mortal on this planet. And his planet ended up being destroyed. and due to other stuff that went down, like the Big Bang and stuff, he was granted these powers, and he goes around, he devours other planets to sustain himself, but he always has like a soft spot for his planet that was destroyed. Well, here, the collector basically went and found a bunch of the universe's best worldsmith, and they recreated Galactus's lost planet down to the smallest detail. The only thing is that the planet now is pretty much the size of like a basketball, and Collector actually has it on display for everyone to see. It's kind of like hidden in plain sight. This is what Galactus has sent Remy for. He's sent Remy to find out where this planet is and to bring it back to him. The Collector is like, the planet's there, you know where it's at, but there's no point. There's nothing on that planet. There are no species living on it. It's basically just a recreation, and it's a dead planet. There's nothing there. And your powers don't intimidate me. If you make a move on me, if you make a move to try to steal the planet, I will destroy everyone here in an instant. Like, I have set up a contingency plan so that if you try to do something, everyone here is going to die. So now Gambit has to find a way to steal the planet, get it to Galactus without the Collector triggering his dead man switch, basically. Well, would it be a dead man switch if it doesn't require him to die for it to be triggered? Basically, if Gambit makes a move, this entire place is going to blow up, killing everybody inside. So Gambit has to find a way to be able to accomplish his mission without that happening. And I'm actually going to stop it there because I don't want to spoil everything. I will say that this was interesting. It's just a one-shot. There's going to be more one-shots, apparently. It looks like there's going to be a what if Galactus transformed Hulk, what if he transformed Moon Knight, what if he transformed Rogue, and what if he transformed Spider-Gwen. I do wish that they would have made this its own series rather than a bunch of like one-shots with the same name basically and just a different character. This could be like issue number 1, and then what if Hulk can be issue number 2. But it could just be like what if Galactus transformed, and then you insert whatever name, and that can be the issue. But instead, each one is getting its own thing, and it just makes me think that Marvel is just trying to milk that number 1. Because Marvel seems to do like whatever it can to try to boost up sales, whether it becomes variant covers, whether it's constantly rebooting series numbers so that we get the number 1 because everyone wants to get the number 1 of whatever new series. But I wish that we just had a what if on its own. In fact, you can just do a what if series, and then you could have had like a big one shot where it's like what if Galactus transformed Hulk, and then you picked a couple characters for this big one shot, and then you had all those stories in one issue. And then for issue number 2, you can do a what if yada yada yada. Just constantly keep changing what the what if could be. But as a what if goes, it was interesting. I feel like the transforming Gambit doesn't seem to make too big of a difference to him. Like, his character still remains the same. His powers are basically kind of the same. Like, he still uses his kinetic powers. He still uses his cards. He still uses, like, touching things to cause them to explode. It's just more like they got amped up a little bit. So it doesn't feel so much like what if Gambit became the Herald of Galactus and had the cosmic powers. Like, it feels less of what if Galactus transformed Gambit and just more of what if Galactus sent Gambit on the mission. You could have literally just had Galactus transport Gambit to him and be like, hey, I need you to steal this planet for me. And then he just transports him to the Collector, and that's it. Like, he doesn't grant him powers or anything like that, because Gambit basically uses his own powers. The only thing that really changes is just the way he looks. And even then, he kind of looks exactly the same. It's just that his hair and his coat look like flames, look like cosmic flames. That's it. That's the only difference. I felt like we didn't really take the idea fully to the point where we could have. It felt kind of half-assed in that regard. It's basically like, yeah, Gambit will just keep using his regular powers. It will just be a little bit more powerful than usual, but that's kind of it. Like, nothing else really changes in that regard. So I kind of would have liked to see, like, really what if Galactus had like fully transformed him and he almost like became like a different person while still retaining his like Gambit personality, but it can be like just changed a little bit, kind of like how the symbiote changed Peter Parker. Like, Peter Parker was still Peter Parker, but parts of him changed a little bit because of the influence of the symbiote, but he was still Peter Parker. It was just like another side of him. Kind of would have liked something like that. Like, we still have Gambit. This is just kind of like another side of him thanks to the transformation from Galactus, but we didn't get that. With all that said, it was a fun little issue. So I don't have any problems with it in that regard. Like, it was entertaining. It's just that I feel like it didn't fully take the premise to where it could have. Like, it felt like it played very, very safe with the idea. And I kind of would have liked it if you just went more overboard with it and just did something crazy. Because this is a what if. It doesn't have to be canon. It's not canon. You can do whatever the hell you want. So what if Gambit had been transformed by Galactus? Fully actually transformed, and we had like new powers, a completely new look, and maybe even different aspects of like a different personality while still retaining his Remy LeBeau core, but just some parts of him were a little bit, influenced by Galactus's powers. Something like that would have been more cooler, in my opinion. But outside of that, yeah, I didn't hate this issue. It was just an interesting one shot. I'd give it like 6 out of 10. I would say it was good, not great or anything like that, but it was good. It was fun. So yeah, would I recommend it? If you like Galactus, if you like Gambit, if you just want like a little one shot to read, sure. It's not terrible. Like, I found enjoyment in it. It could have been a lot more, is what I'm saying. Like, it left me wanting. It could have done way more with the idea, with the premise, than what we got. But there you go. There's What If Galactus Transformed Gambit from Marvel Comics. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time. Take care. Later. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I still want to thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next one is more to your liking. With that said, thank you once again, and I hope you guys and gals have a good one. Later.